Having excellent problem-solving skills can make you more successful. These are steps you should follow. Have you noticed that some of the problems you are experiencing, either in interpersonal relationships or work, seem to be recurring? For example, a person who has had some unpleasant arguments with their co-workers in the past can expect to go through similar struggles moving forward, no matter if they are in a completely different work environment. And the underlying theme of different arguments is the same. That person has a problem to establish a functional communication with their co-workers. This is just one example, but many of us tend to repeat the problems, and some of us eventually start feeling hopeless, thinking it is just our flawed character, and there is nothing we could do about it. Actually, the reason certain problems keep repeating is because we are not using an efficient problem solving technique. Luckily, we can become better problem solvers and therefore lessens the number of problems we face. Your life can be seriously affected if you have poor problem solving ability. Whether we're happy or successful are largely determined by our problem-solving ability. If you just leave problems being unsolved, you may suffer in the following ways. There are countless complicated and ambiguous problems in interpersonal interaction. If we're not efficient problem solvers, we can hardly clear misunderstanding in communication and get close with people around us. Workplace is where we learn how to tackle different kinds of unexpected problems. If we don't keep looking for new solutions, our work performance will worsen and we will easily feel frustrated when problems pile up. It is common for us to attribute poor mental health to unpleasant personal experience or genetic factors. But the inability to tackle problems in life can harm our mental health. According to a 1983 study, scientists found that people with weaker ability to deal with interpersonal issues are more prone to depression. So, what are the causes of poor problem solving? Problem solving is just like other skills we need to master in life. To be good at it, we need to practice it with the right approach. Unfortunately, many of us may not realize the common mistakes we make when solving problems. Here are some examples. Mistaking symptoms for the real causes of problems. Most of us tend to spend a lot of energy to deal with the symptoms of problems without realizing the real causes. To identify the root causes of a problem, we need to challenge the first conclusion that pops up in our mind and keep asking the right questions until we can see beyond the phenomenon of the problem. Looking for quick fixes instead of the most effective solutions. It is our tendency to look for quick fixes of problems. This leads us to believe in our intuitive without looking into the causal relationship behind the problem. And that's why we seldom get to the core of problems and adopt the ineffective solutions, relying too much on our knowledge. Finally, we become ineffective problem solvers because of our over reliance on our knowledge. It is a common misconception that the more we know, the more capable we are to tackle problems. But the fact is, mere knowledge doesn't enable us to become effective problem solvers. What we also need is logical thinking skills, the ability to think critically, and creativity. So, how to be better at problem solving? In order to become better problem solvers, we need to follow these four steps whenever we deal with any problem in life. Number one, defining the real problem. The first and most important step is to identify the root cause of the problem. One of the most effective approach is five whys invented by Sakichi Toyoda in the 1930s. Totayer suggests that by asking why for 5 times can help us better identify the core problem. For example, your problem might be that your business website is not getting enough traffic. First question, why is the traffic declining? Content on the website is not engaging to readers. Why is our content not engaging to readers? Our content doesn't fit readers' needs and interests. Why can't our content fit readers' needs and interests? We don't have much understanding of our readers. Why don't we have much understanding of our readers? We haven't conducted any research in this area. Why haven't we conducted any research to understand our readers? We have no resources for research. The solution, allocating more resources on the research to understand our readers. Please note that we only apply vertical thinking to, to delve deep in one possible problem, which is unobjective content in this case. If you think there is another possible reason for declining traffic, you should do another set of 5 whys. By doing this, we can train up our logical thinking skills, and so what we see from a problem does not stay at the superficial level. Number two, generating alternatives. After we define the root problem, it is time to find possible solutions. Here's where we can use the lateral instead of learned vertical thinking. That means rather than spending all of our energy and time on transforming one initial idea into a perfect solution, we should rather think of at least 10 possible ones and write them down first. By doing so, we won't draw the conclusion too early or limit our choice to the first few ideas that pop up in our minds. Instead, we postpone our decision making and make use of our creativity to generate potentially better options. Although it takes us more time in this stage, we are more likely to come up with better solutions later on. Number 3. Evaluating and selecting alternatives. After generating possible solutions, it is time to select the best one. To make sure we make the right decision, we should list the pros and cons of each option and then compare them on the basis of cost and benefit. And this way, you are more able to make rational choice instead of being deceived by your unreliable buyer's judgment. Number 4. Implementing solutions. Although you have gone through 3 stages and take many factors into consideration to pick the best solution, you shouldn't have the false hope that your solution is to be perfect. But it'll be good to implement your solution first and then keep evaluating its effectiveness and make adjustments afterwards. Then you have a clearer direction in mind of how to tackle your problems strategically.